Hello everybody, this is
Hello,
Point of Baba
everybody.
here, and I'm not
This is
sure if I
Bobby.
actually unmute the microphone before I start talking, but whatever. Welcome to Top Gear Talk Show episode You're Gonna Give Me 5, where we are going to talk about mostly Train Sim World 2, but a few other small things as well. Um, so initially we rescheduled this live stream for today, which is on my TV, by the way.
I'm going to eat some pizza.
And also, no. Initially, we were going to reschedule. No, what happened is that we were going to do this live stream on Thursday. Then we rescheduled to today. Then we thought we were going to reschedule for tomorrow, but then we decided to do it today again because of a bunch of things that made us fall into place. It's fine. All right. Now let's make sure everything is working on YouTube. Again because I think everything is. I hope everyone's volumes is balanced.
Maybe.
Because if not, I'm gonna be a little bit salty because
I'm gonna game in your mother.
you might have my voice that's higher than others. It's complicated. Yeah. Anyway, so as you can see, we're using StreamYard once again because StreamYard has proven to be a really useful engine. So we're using it again. It's been I think it's been the main streaming thing that we've used for the past 3 or 4 talk shows. No, 3 talk shows. Yeah, because episode 1 and 2 we used Hangouts. Hey, remember when we used Hangouts? Yeah, that's not happening anymore.
That's relevant.
Anyway, so we got the whole gang here. We got me, Andre, Voxel, and Domtron. And this is actually gonna be quite an interesting live stream because, well, as you can tell in the title, this is Top Gear Talks episode 5, Train Sim World 2 edition. Because recently, the Train Sim World 2 was announced. And there's a lot of pointers and stuff for Train Sim World 2. So much so to the point where I think...
cash grab.
Shut up. So much to the point where I think that it deserves its own live stream. Now, that being said, however, before we get into Train Sim World 2, we're going to talk about a few smaller things that you probably take about 3 minutes. So, with that being said, let's do the news. Anyway, yeah, so first bit... PlayStation 5 was recently announced, along with many other games, and Gran Turismo 7. Emergency! Emergency! Okay, we're back online. Alright, back online. Thanks, Verizon, for going out for absolutely no reason. Man, this Wi-Fi kind of sucks. Anyway, so as I was saying about the PlayStation 5, Gran Turismo 7 has been announced alongside a bunch of other games that I don't really care about. But Gran Turismo 7, did I say Gran Turismo 5 before? Or no, whatever. Gran Turismo 7. It's by far, or well, not by far, but is the best looking race game I have ever seen. For now.
Right.
That being said, however, I have thought about getting a PS5 this Christmas because the PS5 is actually quite impressive to me. Because the thing about the PS5 is that, well, for one thing, you have Gran Turismo 7, which looks like a really good racing game, actually. But it's also backwards compatible, which means I can play all of the classic NASCAR games, such as NASCAR Thunder 2004, NASCAR 05 Chase for the Cup, NASCAR 07, and so on and so forth. So I might even play those on the channel next year. So there's that. So PlayStation 5, really cool looking console, and yes. So speaking of game consoles, the Xbox Series X has also been announced recently, and apparently it's the most powerful console that's ever been made. And Dirt 5, I think it was also announced for the Xbox Series X, and it too looks quite nice, I will say. And I hope the game is nice too. But more importantly, next month they'll be doing a full conference thingy-majiggy announcing all of the release titles for the Xbox Series X, including Forza Motorsport 8. And I can guarantee you right now I will be talking about that game a lot on this channel when that gets announced. So yeah, Forza 8's gonna be announced.
Forza Horizon 5.
That's next year, Russell. And finally, not related to consoles, but is related to trains. Amtrak has a new NNAC and a new paint scheme. It is the... No, it's not the Avail Livery, actually. It's something else. It is... Hang on. Russell, can you post that picture to Discord for a minute?
What?
Of the NNAC.
Oh, you're talking about the charger.
No! Well, actually, yeah. It's a base... It's base... It's like the charger, but it's a variant of the charger.
Let me see this. Russell, send it.
All right, Hammond, come
Oh
on.
my god.
Russell, you're the only one with the picture.
Amtrak
I'm gonna here. I'll get it.
ALC 42 will.
Oh yeah, that's what
Okay.
it's, the ALC 42. And we're waiting for Richard Hammond to post it into the Discord thing so I can
He's
actually
already
see
posted
it.
it.
Find it.
Alright, so we'll be
Just
waiting a
give me
couple
1
minutes.
I'll
Here,
send
here.
it. Just give me 1 second.
Oh dear.
Didn't he already send it through Discord? Yeah,
Yes,
here we
We
are.
did, but it was a long time ago.
Here, I got it. I got it.
Okay, Hammond, I need to see it for myself too. Come on, Richard Hammond.
Why?
Oh, okay, dumped it for us. Alright, there we go. So the Amtrak, what's it called again?
It
ALC
is
42.
The ALP 42. Okay.
ALC 42.
Alright, ALC 42. It's a brand new engine. Actually, that's a lie. It's not necessarily brand new. It's actually a variant of the Siemens Charger. But it is being banged. Yeah, the ALC 42 in what is Amtrak's all-new Phase 7 scheme. So we really are entering the modern era of Amtrak, with the Estella 2 running the rounds in Philadelphia, and I forgot to do something. I just realized. Wait, hang on a second. I just had a sudden realization.
Good job.
Did I
You're
re-
stupid.
I am dumb. You wanna know? You wanna know the best thing? I had a video scheduled to go for today because I didn't think I was gonna be doing the live stream. I was gonna reschedule for tomorrow. Oops. So yeah.
Good job.
Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna just delete it and re-upload it, or something. I
Or
don't
you,
know.
or you could just
Wow.
put in the private
What a
and
way to waste.
reschedule it.
What a way to waste your own
Darn
time.
it! I brought everyone's attention to this video instead of the thing that everyone is supposed to be watching. Arrgh. Darn it! I had one job, and I
Yes, and you
screwed it all up.
failed.
Yes.
Okay, well that's an embarrassment. I'm going to do.
Oh,
Yeah,
pathetic.
I think now I'm gonna just delete the video and then re-upload it tomorrow. Like I would relist it, but then it wouldn't be in anyone's subscriptions box, so that's the thing. Okay, so the new enne, it's an interesting one, and apparently the pay scheme of VSL 2 is also going to be classified as Phase 7, which is interesting because I thought it was going to be Phase 6, but Phase 6 technically already existed, so I guess it's Phase 7 now.
How?
Russell, are you aware of Phase 7? I mean Phase 6.
God.
It's basically Phase 4 except it has a different shade of blue.
Right.
Whatever. Okay, so that's all the mini news out of the way. So, now to get to the bit that everyone is clicked on the stream for. Train Sim World 2.
2.
So, we're going to go over this thing. So, alright. So, the evolution of train simulation is coming on August the 6th of 2020. Okay, maybe I should have my secondary monitor turned on.
That would help.
Actually, see, the thing is that I want to have the chat in view somewhere. Actually, what if I were to do this?
Do you have a mobile device you can put the stream on there?
I do, but I can't be bothered to do that right now. Hang on, let's see.
Lazy butt.
That could work.
By the way, for everybody's information, I am the only one in this group that has placed Train Sim World 1.
Yes. We'll actually get to that later.
Good
Anyways.
for you.
Alright, so I guess I originally want to have my second monitor turned off because it was a little bit unnecessary, but since I'm going to be staring at staring at a web page for a certain period of time, and I can't look at the chat at the same time, I'm going to have it on a second thingamajig, so yay. Okay. The evolution of train simulation is coming the 6th of August 2020, which is a couple months from now. Alright, so they're saying here, master iconic locomotives on high-speed services, long freight hauls, or precise commuter traffic, and get creative with customization tools in this advanced sequel. Climb into the cabin, Train Sim World 2. So, they've already have the image, which which has some American engine that I don't know for the ICE3,
Hey, wait.
and the London
Wait, let me
tube
see
stock.
this is.
Yes.
Yes, I saw the London tube stock.
It's a big
Let me-
American thingy. That's all you need to know.
Here, well, let me see real quick. That is a...
AC
It's at the end.
44,000 CW, apparently.
No. Okay, well, there you go.
Okay, here we go. Okay, authentically replicated routes and locos. Feel the thrill of high-speed intercity German rail as you push the throttle and climb the speeds in the famous ICE3 out of Cologne. Take on the challenge of hauling long freight across the sandpatch grade with the CSX AC 44,000 CW. And master the complex operations of the London Underground on the Bakerloo line. All of its
Bakerloo.
licenses, all authentically recreate by the cab
Bakersfield.
and in control. So, right off the bat, we confirmed the 3 routes and the featured trains for the next DLC. So first up, we have the ICE3. Finally, we have a proper high-speed train in Train Sim World.
Too bad that the routes will probably be too short.
Nah. Why would they have a
If it's
high-speed
going out
train
of
in a
Cologne,
slow-speed route?
I hope it's going to Frankfurt. If it doesn't go to Frankfurt, then I'm going to kill Dovetail
I
Games.
hope it.
Oi!
Game end.
Game end.
Game end, yes.
Anyway,
Exactly.
so they say it's going out of Cologne, but they haven't confirmed the other
Yes.
destination yet. So that's
I
interesting.
hope it's Frankfurt because that would be a 300 kilometer per hour speed limit.
Yeah. That being said, that would actually be that would actually be perfect. But that being said, however, they say it's going to Cologne. I wonder if this is going to be a remake of the original Cologne to Dusseldorf route that was a thing for Train Simulator.
It's called
Um,
Düsseldorf.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case because that's actually a pretty slow route. I hope that it goes to Andre. I hope that it goes to Frankfurt like Andre is saying, so we can actually go fast. Because what's the point of having a high-speed train if you can't drive your high-speed train fast? They're called
Yes.
high-speed trains for a reason. And yeah, so next thing we have the Sandpatch grade with CSX engines. Other enough, the Sandpatch grade was the original route that was released in Train Sim World 1. However, it looks like it's
CSX heavy haul.
Wow.
However, it looks like that's going to be featured again for Train Sim World 2 as a remastered version, so that's actually quite interesting. So
Yes.
nice that Dovetail's going
It
back.
also has some.
Yeah, so nice
Yes.
that Dovetail's going back to the first route ever made for Train Sim World and remastering it for Train Sim World 2. That's kind of interesting. I would have chosen a better American route for Train Sim World 2.
Salt Lake City.
No. I'm talking about the Northeast Corridor.
Oh,
I mean, they've kind of have that in Train Sim World 1.
Yeah, but we'll get to that in just a bit. And we also have the London Underground Bakerloo line, which is interesting.
Bakerloo!
Bakerloo.
Are you sure it's Bakerloo or Bakerloo?
Yes, it's Bakerloo.
Okay, well I was saying Bakerloo, so I guess I'm just gonna just say Bakerloo. So the London Bakerloo line, which is interesting because it's also because not only are we getting our first ever high-speed train, we're also getting our first ever subway line, which just happens to be the London Underground, which makes sense. The London Underground is the most iconic underground metro in the world. That being
It's
said,
the first one in the world as
yeah.
well.
That being
The oldest.
said, that being said, however, I wonder if we can see the New York City subway in Train Sim World at some point in the future. That'd be nice, so I can relive my my New York City fantasies as I hear some noise from outside. And yeah, so they're all officially licensed, so then they replicated and blah 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 blah. So boys, what do we think of the new DLC?
I definitely am liking the London Underground one. The
Yes.
Frankfurt, I think
It's not Frankfurt confirmed yet.
Okay, well, Colenz or whatever it is. I like that one, and I'm curious to see what they do with the sand patch grade.
Yeah. And Hammond?
I like it. It sounds like it's gonna be a good DLC.
And there's also the Preserve Collection.
Well, so why are you still playing Halo?
Yes.
It's on idle.
It better be. Anyways, I guess we
Anyway,
all like the new things.
Yes, and we gotta remember, you can still play your Train Simulator 2020 add-ons with Train Sim World 2. At least the
Yes.
compatibility is there.
Well, I'm the only one that has
yeah.
Train Sim World 2020 add-ons, so
yeah.
that's pretty much only for me. But indeed, I like the Preserved Collection thing, so I'm gonna keep all my routes that I already have.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
And I also like the ICE3 route. Though I'm not a big fan of high-speed trains, but I'm still happy that they're there.
How can you not be a big fan of high-speed trains?
I like local trains.
High-speed
more.
trains are my favorite
I'm a
trains
local.
ever.
I'm a local.
Okay, well,
Each
that's
and every
my
single
opinion,
one
right?
of them are great.
That's why I also like the Bakerloo line, the addition of that, because it adds
Bakerloo.
also some slow services with lots of stations. That's what I like.
It's too
You know,
slow.
Sand
one thing
Patch great.
I am wondering
And
about the
Sandpatch
Bakerloo
great. I
slow.
really like that CSX Heavy Haul is returning in TSW too. So yeah, I pretty much like all of them.
Yeah. Anyway, Donald Trump.
There is one thing I am curious. So I know that they're gonna have the London Tube stop, but I wonder if they will have, because they usually include more than one locomotive with these. I wonder if they'll also include like maybe the London battery car for maintenance or something.
Well, maybe not the
That would
London
be-
battery car because maintenance vehicles are a bit of a niche thing in train symbol, but we might get the S8
but-
stock.
In TSW1, we've also had Rapid Transit, and that also only gave us the Talent 2.
Yeah.
So London Underground is probably only gonna get that one thing. That
So
the
maybe
one,
they'll add the
tube
S8
stock
stock
we
as
can
a DLC because reasons.
I'm just
Anyway.
gonna look up something.
Yeah. Fish.
Did we say how much it's gonna cost?
They
Yes,
did actually,
£24.99.
or $30 US.
That's what Matt said in the FAQ stream. £24.99.
Yeah, so $30 US. So pretty good price actually. So you get $10 per route, which is pretty good actually.
That's 3 routes.
So, wait a second. In the complex, hectic operation of the London Underground on the Bakerloo line. Huh. Interesting. We'll have to see what that comes out to.
Yes, so I think is my face going on the webcam?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
fine. You're a little close.
I'm gonna. That's too far. We do apologize, viewers. I'm just adjusting. Okay, well, this is good because I'm not actually looking at my webcam thingamajiggy whilst I'm. Anyway, now, so we've gone over DLCs. Now we have the bit where it says "Get Creative." Personalize your rail journey with 2 brand new, easy-to-use tools. Create your own custom liveries with the Livery
Easy,
Designer.
huh?
I'm going to get into that in just a bit. That allows you to craft both simple and complex designs to your train symbol to local liveries to life. And create your own scenario with a scenario planner, picking local destinations before you jump in and take to the rails quick drive your way. So that's interesting. However, the bit that really had my attention is the Livery Designer. This is going to be the first ever train simulator to feature a livery creator right in the game itself. No external stuff needed. It's all in the game.
Right.
Which I think is a really cool feature, but I might as well say it right now. You can't actually share your liveries. The liveries are only for you to use, and that's
See
it.
now,
But
about
the reason for that being is the consoles.
right,
That's the reason
but
for it, pretty much.
I've been thinking about this because I read up about this a little bit. I'm not sure that we wouldn't be able to transfer it because if Train Sim World uses a similar layout to Train Simulator, then there has to be, in theory, some kind of files that you could transfer over for liveries.
I mean, what's interesting about that is that you could transfer it through PC users.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't want to do that because
It's
they want to
cross-
make
Well,
it
they don't
equal
want
for
modding
consoles
in-
and PCs.
Well, they don't want modding in their game in general. They didn't want modding with Train Simulator, and yet you see how many mods there is for that.
Yeah, but
Actually, that's a lie.
still.
They Dovetail actually promotes modding, for Train Simulator. They just don't necessarily promote it for Train Sim World 2 too much because Train Sim World is a very different animal to Train Simulator.
Yeah, well, I don't see any harm in the transferring of it, but
Also,
yeah,
look at your
what-
camera. Yeah. And
Is
Hammond,
it
what do you?
cross-play compatibility?
That's actually good. Well, there's no multiplayer, so probably not.
Wow.
However, when they do add multiplayer, I hope for cross compatibility, because if not, I'm gonna be one very salty boy. Anyway. Anyway, Hammond, what are your thoughts on the livery creator?
Hamster.
I'm gonna make my own liveries.
Yay, and it's gonna be rubbish.
I don't know what the tool is gonna look like, because looking at other livery designers that are made in game,
Hmm.
they're never that good.
I had an interesting thought about that. Because their livery designer is gonna be also a thing on consoles. So I wonder, is the paint booth gonna be something like Forza or Gran Turismo, or something out of a racing game, or something like we've never seen before?
Probably.
That's gonna be
I
really
can't see
interesting.
it being that good.
Matt explained some of the
don't know,
theory
because-
on the FAQ,
yeah.
but I didn't understand anything of it.
Yeah, I don't know, because if the livery designer is just like Forza, then it's gonna be actually pretty easy to use livery design, because the livery creator in Forza is pretty easy to use even for novices. So if Dovetail adapts to the same paint
That's
booth,
disgusting.
then I can see it being quite easy to use. However, at the same time, though, Dovetail has never made a livery design before, so it could be something totally new, like we've never seen before. In
Matt
which case,
said it should be easy
yeah.
to use.
In which case, novice. Well, yeah, I would hope that novices know what they're doing with it, because if not, then oh dear, it's gonna spark some controversy. Yeah. Anyway, so next we have create your own scenario with a scenario planner, picking locals and do the sausages. So this is weirdly enough kind of like Quick Drive from Train Simulator, except you can choose your station stop. So it's like Quick Drive for Train Simulator. Well, it's basically makes some
Not
Quick Drive from Train
entirely.
Simulator and scenario, and then the scenario maker and Train Simulator. So you can select your start and finish destination, and also your stops in between, which is something that I actually found out from the Frankly Act.
Not only that, you can also select AI trains and select how they drive.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's basically just like the scenario maker from Train Simulator, which is interesting.
I don't know if you can type in timetables though.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
They
But
probably
yeah.
have their own set of timetables or something like that. That's the only thing I can
Maybe.
imagine.
You are late.
Hammond. Anyway, yeah. So, scenario maker is coming to Train Sim World 2, which is, I mean, thanks, but you could have had this in Train Sim World, except you were too lazy. So it's like, I mean,
You're too lazy.
It's like thanks, but come on, mate.
Hey, look, there's a
Um,
pillow.
Yeah.
But actually, yeah, they've also said that they use it for development. So yeah, that might also speed up development a little bit, because they're not going to have to create a scenario every single time. They can just use a scenario editor within the game. That's what Matt said, at least.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
could be
speeding
interesting.
things up.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang.
Makes me also can make a scenario of an HST crashing into a station and pulling Spirits in Station joke.
Shut up.
Anyway, so that's that. Right. Next bit. Experience a new level of realism. The proprietary
Yo.
Proprietary.
Simulgraph vehicle dynamics engine has evolved, adding realistic adhesion physics for the first time. Feel the slip of wheels in adverse weather, master moving heavy freight, and keep control of your local power on steep inclines. Optimized and upgraded visual fidelity. Also gives traceable dynamic skies and 4K. So basically, they're making the game more realistic with with more realistic physics, more realistic graphics, and more realistic sausages. Not
Yes.
much to say there.
They haven't added thunderstorms though, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Not the thunderstorm.
We need thunderstorms, which cause tree branches to fall on the track.
No.
I want you to get struck by lightning.
Wassel.
Anyway, continue.
Anyways, not much to say there.
And so I can watch the trees burn so I can...
Okay,
watch the
you want me to
sun
read
this
up.
next part?
myself.
Nah. Okay, immerse yourself in simulation. Get clearer information on instructions, gradient, and speed profiles as you drive, including new HUD displays, clarity to the onboard safety systems, brake controls, power meter, and accelerometers. A new control scheme will give great choices on camera and driving models, which allows easier access from external camera mode to enter another vehicle in your consist, all while full fixed simulation are running. Okay, so let's break this down. So clear information, instructions, gradient, and speed profile. So I guess they get. I think they're giving you like more stuff that Train Simulator had, so you can look at the gradients, the speed limits, and stuff. And
You
more
can
HUD
actually see that stuff.
Stuff. Oh,
You were
Well,
able
they're-
to see that stuff in Trains in World 1. They just made it Probably
Better.
easier to see in different ways.
Interesting. Yes, we also have clarity to the onboard safety system, so I guess more beeps and whistles and stuff. That could be interesting. We also have brake controls, power accelerometer, not really much to add. A new controller scheme, that could be interesting. Also cameras and drive modes, so that means maybe they're adding more camera stuff, so like they're adding train simulator, so you can move from one coach to the other, and you can do sausages.
You could do that before as well.
Yeah, so you can make a train. You can look at your train, and you can look at all the little fancy
Sausage.
colors. Maybe, yeah, maybe you made your new livery, and now you want to see what it looks like on an ACS 64 and some Ampli coaches, or an HST, or something. Anyway, yeah, I'm thinking
We'll
about train
see.
simulator. Or an M7. That's also the thing. Or an M3. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Or in it 666.
Shut up.
Lots
Anyway, yeah, so, not much that I could say there, but what do we think about it?
It sounds interesting.
Hammond?
It's fish.
Hamster.
Shut up.
Okay. Here we go. Preserve your Train Sim World Collection. Your collection comes with you. You can play your Train Simulator World 2020 ads and Train Sim World 2. Train Sim World has been about your collection, your choice of bands, and your sausages, and you purchase Train Sim World ads. So basically, yeah, your purchase Train Sim World 2. Your purchase Train Sim World 1 add-ons will be available to play in Train Sim World 2. So basically, we have backwards compatibility, so if you invested into any DLCs from Train Sim World 1, those will be playable in Train Sim World 2, which I think is actually really nice, because I'll be honest, there are some DLCs in Train Sim World I do have an interest in, such as the Long Island Railroad, the Northeast Corridor, the Great Western Express, and maybe a couple others that I'm forgetting about. But those are my top ones that I can remember. Oh, and the Taurus.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Russell?
Taurus.
Oh. Anyway,
The
yeah,
Taurus
so,
has to be run on German routes.
yes. So, yeah,
So you need a German route as
yeah.
well.
So backwards compatibility, this likes to be nice for Android because if you
Yes,
get
because
Train
I've been playing Train Sim World before.
yeah, because if you get Train Sim World 2 on PlayStation, then you can have your DLCs for that. So yeah, so if you too have bought add-ons for Train Sim World 1, your money will not go to waste so long as you buy the game on the same platform that you played Train Sim World 1. Of course I never but yeah. But of course
However, if you don't have Train Sim World 1 and you're not interested in it, you shouldn't buy Train Sim World 1 because you can just buy the DLCs
yeah,
in Train Sim World 2, I think.
That's gonna be me,
It's
Russell,
fish.
and Domfon.
Yes.
Yeah.
But since I already have the game, I'm just gonna move my add-ons to the new game.
Yes, sir. Anyway, so now they have some frequently asked questions, so this is gonna be interesting. So, first question they're asking is, why Train Sim World 2? Train Sim World 2 is a new simulator for PC, Xbox One, and PS4, separate from any previous Train
It's
Sim
also
World
really
experience.
slow.
Shut up, Russell. We need to bring Train Sim World forward. By advancing the engine and evolving Simugraph, we can add new features and more types of train simulation. Train Sim World 2 includes high-speed trains and longer freight for the first time, and sets our feature sites on steam engines, multiplayer, and more. Russell! What did I tell you about breaking your toys? No, you must care. Anyway, now here we go. This is the bit that has me interested the most, because they say steam engines. Yeah, what's something about Train Sim World is that we've had our diesels, we've had our electrics, but we haven't had any steam engines yet.
Big boy.
Yeah, big boy. My guess on that is because steam engines are so...
Well, they
Old
say in
this.
the
slow.
FAQ why that is.
Well, yeah,
Because
there's...
of the particles.
I'll
Yeah.
do that.
Well, and there's so much to steam engines.
Not really. I mean, they only have
That.
Train Simulator as a basis for how to make a good steam engine.
Well-
Frony, your camera is dead.
Come on, mate!
And Russell, where are you going?
There we go.
I am going to the moon.
Russell is dying. Anyway,
Yes.
so train sim sausages. So steam engines. We might have those in the future, including Big Boy, the Malar, the Flying Sausage, and maybe even the Daylight. Daylight, that actually be really cool.
The flying sausage.
Just bring in all the cool steam engines. Don't bother with all the boring ones. That might trigger a few people, but anyway. And fairly longer freight for the first time. I mean, we did have Sand Patch Grid in Train Sim World 1, but I guess now it's been enhanced, so we can have longer freight trains properly this time, which could be interesting. And I wish Russell was here, but whatever. And multiplayer. Multiplayer especially is something that I've been asking for since Train Sim World 1 was initially announced, because when Train Sim World 1 was announced, they initially said, yes, we're gonna have multiplayer. And they never did it. So, and they're still not gonna have multiplayer at launch in Train Sim World 2, as it sounds. So, I hope so much that at some point in Train Sim World 2's lifespan, they add in multiplayer, because I want multiplayer, and that's actually one of the reasons why I didn't get Train Sim World 1, because there's no multiplayer, so there's no real reason to buy Train Sim World 1. I mean, heck, even Trains New Era has multiplayer, and that's a game that we don't play very often yet. But yeah, so multiplayer, just put in the game. Honestly, that being said, however, if you are gonna have multiplayer, make sure it's good and usable. Otherwise, you shot yourself in the foot on that one. Yeah. So Steam Engine is in multiplayer, so that's the thing, and they say more. I wonder what they're talking about as far as more is concerned. That could be very...
There's gonna be pickles.
That could be very interesting. There's Hammond! Ah ha 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 ha! Richard Hammond has fallen on his dead. Congratulations. Okay, Hammond, time to come back to the camera. We're talking about Steam engines and multiplayer. Jeez. Anyway.
You did not see that.
Yes, we did. Anyway, Hammond, do you like Steam engines? Well, they might be coming to Train Sim World 2 soon. Anyway, and also multiplayer. Hey,
soon?
Russell, do you want multiplayer? Well, it's on the beginning getting it. Yeah. So that being said, so what else do we think about that?
And multiplayer will be here soon.
I think the Train Sim
better be.
World 2 thing is just useless.
Nah. Very splendid. So,
All it does is just makes people excited again.
I mean, I'm excited since I've done a full live stream on it. Anyway, so like how they list off all the new features in Train Sim World 2. So they have scenario planner, livery designer, adhesion physics, preserve collections for add-ons, new dovetail live features including driver logbook, online debriefs, and rail fan shots. Which, hang on, driver logbook, online debriefs, and rail fan shots. Well, let's see, driver logbook could be interesting, but that's pretty much something. Online debriefs and rail fan. Well, all those things are pretty much what they see on the tin, so that could be interesting. And of course, we have emerging features, German high-speed London Undergroundisms, and Sandpatch grade. Okay.
Yeah, finally arriving on consoles.
Thanks, website, for refreshing for absolutely no reason.
I think they refresh for a very good reason.
Russell, no breaking your toys.
No, I will break my toys if I want to.
Anyway, so, next question they bring in. Why are you not upgrading our game like Train Sim World 2020? Well, first of all, I can actually
Because
answer
they
that.
want money.
I can actually answer that question for Dovetail, because if you're gonna make a new game, you should just be an entirely new game. None of this upgrading rubbish. Just make a new game.
Make a new sausage.
Yeah, make a new sausage like you're doing with Train Sim World 2. Honestly, you should have done this like, I don't know, a little while back, but yeah, you definitely took your time, Dovetail. Anyway, but their answer is we need to bring Train Sim World forward. Advancing the engine, evolve the Dovetail's own engine that powers the NES, add all new features and capabilities, and more types of train simulations, exactly blah blah blah. So yeah, basically they basically kind of repeat the first question, so they're upgrading the
Also,
game.
Simugraph was
Or no.
made by themselves. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so they're making a new game so they can bring more stuff. We've already talked about that, so there's that. Here we go. Another thing. What is the adhesive feature? Adhesive physics bring wheel slip and wheel slide at Train Sim World 2 depending on road conditions and driver technique. Feel the slip of the wheels in adverse weather. Master moving heavy freight haul and keep controlling local and steep inclines. I'm not sure if that was in Train Sim World 1
I
or
shall
not.
beg that it's not like in Trains by N3V games. I shall pray for it.
Yeah. That being said, however, I mean that stuff has been in Train Simulator for years, and I thought it was a thing in Train Sim World 1, but I guess I'm making a big deal
No.
of Train Sim World 2.
It wasn't actually a
Anyway,
thing.
so it's pretty much sure Nash is because they got a new engine that they're releasing.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I like how they say what routes and logos are in Train Sim World 2, even though they. Hang on, I haven't seen this before. Colon to Chen is gonna be the route. Also, no breaking your toys. Anyway, here we go. So this could be interesting. So we have, okay, yeah, they confirmed some stuff here that we did actually requesting early on. So, experience German high speed for the first time with the Schnellfahrstreck, colon to Aachen route driving the
It's Aachen.
Yeah, the
That's
IC3
Aachen, okay.
and the Talentless 2.
IC3. I'm gonna drive
Yeah.
down the Northeast Corridor.
I don't think that's actually possible in Train Sim 2.
And
I-
Schnellfahrstrecke literally means high speed
Yeah.
line.
But you want to know something funny, Russell? You literally have the Northeast Corridor and the IC3 in Train Simulator 2. I mean, Train Simulator 2020.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can literally do
that's
that
right.
now, or after the live stream in this case.
Or we could throw a train on
You,
the
Russell,
track.
are dumb.
So
Yes,
are
but here he
you.
can do it in Train Sim World 2 with
Anyway.
better graphic.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So, I'm actually going to look this up. Colon to Aachen. I'm actually going to look this up on the map real quick and see
Aachen is
what
what
it's
it's
like.
called.
Aachen. I'm not German.
Aachen.
Alright,
Aachen,
so we start
Florida.
with Cologne. Cologne, Germany.
Ah, Scheiße.
And Domtron!
What?
You can't say the S word. This
Excuse
is a
me.
children's show. Okay,
Screw the
The
children.
F-word. Oh no, I said it.
okay, and directions, we're gonna have...
You can't say screw the children.
Shut up, Russell.
Russell.
Russell! Anyway, so we're gonna have this, which is a train. Oh! Oh my god. Perfect time to go on Mr. Webcam. Anyway, wait, Cologne, that looks very straight. Ooh! This looks like
Yes,
a very
they said
interesting route.
Schnellfahrstrecke. It's a high speed line.
The route itself... Shut up, Russell. The route itself is... Wait, Google Maps, why... Tell me how long this is.
You can't actually see that.
It is only 5 miles long.
Balls. Anyway, so Cologne to Action. This is a high-speed route. We're gonna be able to do 280 kilometers per hour, maybe even 300. Thank you, Dovetail. You have finally added a proper high-speed line with the ICE3. You have done good. Let's give Dovetail a round of applause. Anyway, well, there we go. So it's just been confirmed as I turn off the stream for some reason. No, I mean not the stream, the thing. There we
I
go.
sucked myself.
So colon to action is the new high-speed line. So we will finally have proper high-speedisms in Train Sim World isms, which puts a smile on my face. I'm glad we finally have the IC3 with a proper high-speed line. Yes, let's go fast.
That's actually opposite.
Gotta
We'll
go
be-
fast.
Anyway, so they're also saying here. Oh, hello, Grants Darren. I'm so mad that Dovetail has never added Steam Local in Train Sim World. Well, they're thinking about adding a Train Sim World too, so if you've been paying attention, then you know what we're talking about. Anyway, so discover the world famous underground with the classic 1972 Mark II stock on the Bakerloo line, a run requested by a huge number of players. Okay, so
Yes, indeed.
it seems that they're actually confirming this right here. What train's gonna be Russell. We don't need the extreme close-up. Anyway, so it looks like that they're straight up confirming for the underground line that it's only gonna include the 1972 Mark II stock, which I guess means that anything else for that route is just gonna be DLC because reasons. Anyway, yeah. So
Domtron has been killed.
Anyway, yeah. So it looks like we're only getting the 1972 Mark II stock to start with.
I am
So, yeah.
gonna toss something else.
Wait, what's that
Strike
noise?
two. Strike two.
Wait.
Strike two.
I'm hearing
Russell,
things. Wait, did I just hear? Oh, wait, what the heck? Okay, I guess I'm
Okay,
hearing
you
things.
You-
Okay. Let's see.
It's
Girls
all
at
based
Rip Soul
for
Express.
me.
Well, that's not what this show is about, but we might talk about that a little bit later. Anyway, so we have German NS. The London going in it, and of course we have the AC-44,000 CW, the G30-2, and the AC-4H2 on the remastered Sandpatch Grade, which is interesting. So I'm actually quite pleased with the base content because we have 3 completely different routes, which is nice. So you have your so we have high speed, subways, and freight, which I like. I like it. So Train Sim World 2 is supposed to be this new game, and they're always showing it off with
I
their
find
new
it's gonna be
DLCs.
cash grab.
Well, so you're a cash grab. Anyway, so what do we think about the new content?
Well, it's definitely good. I wish there was more underground.
And we'll
It's
probably
more
get that as
promising
DLC.
than I thought.
Again, all the battery stock would have been a good addition because that's currently not in any other game.
And it'll probably be DLC.
It actually peeves me off just more and more thinking about it.
No, my
Oh,
milk is
no.
getting
Salty
warm.
boy.
Anyway. So. Okay, next question
Salty
they bring in.
boy.
Shut up, Russell. Is the Livery Designer. A new in-game tool available on all platforms that allows you to personalize your Train Sim World 2 logos and create your own custom liveries. Easy to use, utilizing a mixture of shapes and layers. It will allow you to grab both simple and complex designs to bring your own liveries to life with your Train Sim World 2 game. Oh yeah, by the way, thanks Grants Derrick for making the meme that I was actually thinking of when I got some milk. That's very much appreciated. Anyway, yeah, so they're saying it uses a mixture of shapes and layers and shapes and layers. So it's basically what Forza does. So it's gonna be interesting though to see how they sort of execute it.
Right.
That'd be interesting.
There
So
might be
guess-
one thing that you might want to know about this. Something that Matt said in the FAQ
Oh,
stream.
okay.
He said that if you can put hundreds of layers on a train, but when you're done, it will compress it into one layer so it doesn't use up too much space.
That's actually a good idea. I mean, I wonder if you'll be able to uncompress it later on if you want to go back and edit it. That could be interesting. I guess we'll just wait and
I
see.
don't know about that.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, yeah, so now they asked what scenario plan is Domtron's going, so I guess now we'll talk about, well, I should talk about, anyway, Gemini Speed! Okay.
And cool.
Alright, so now, what is the scenario planner they bring up? So let's see, so they say a new in-game tool available on all platforms giving you the ability to create your own scenario. Customize locals and destinations and dump and driving quick drive your way. So, yeah, it sounds like that we're gonna have a scenario maker in Train Sim World, which is good.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, thanks, but come on. So that being said, what do we think about the scenario maker?
It's a scenario maker. There's not really much to say, to be honest.
Oh,
It's probably just
Yes.
like your typical scenario maker.
maybe.
It's just cool.
Yes.
We
Anyway.
actually talked about it
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
when we were above that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, here's something interesting. So now they say, can I make a livery or scenario to share or sell? That's interesting. The livery designer and scenario planner do not have sharing options on any platform, so your designs are personal to you alone. These designs or plans are not available to be sold. However, you can fully share your creations to the new Dovetail Live Railfan Shots feature. So, okay, that's the thing that kind of sucks because on one hand, Dovetail are allowing you to be more creative in the game. On the other hand, the things that you make are only for you to use, and you can't actually share. Which I don't know. That kind of blows.
You can share it with your real life friends.
I mean, sure, but I don't know. I hope that they fix that in the future, where they add a way to upload a livery or
Yeah.
scenario to some kind of download station like Trains has, so it's
I'll be
more
back.
accessible. Hammond. Oh, I guess we'll to whichever.
Yes. Yeah,
Let's look at Twitter real
yeah,
quick.
not much to say.
Twitter. Arca. Anyway. Also, one thing that I remembered is that Bones went out to the mall, and she's been out for a couple hours now, and she hasn't come back. So I wonder when she will, because she will be coming back with dinner. So let's have to wait and see. If Dovetail added the Talon Railway and train symbol, I would be saving for it immediately. Not a bad
gosh,
idea.
they had the Tally Lin. The thing with the Tally Lin though is, first of all, that's a lot of steam engine. Two, that'd be really graphic intensive, like more than just like a regular city because of all the trees and stuff. It's just, I'm not sure that Tally Lin, because the other thing is too, they were able to get the Corish Railways licensing, but the Tally Lin is actually, at least for Train Simulator anyway, licensed to someone else. So I'm curious about that. I doubt it happen. Maybe they might pull a Corish, but definitely not a Tally Lin, I don't think.
That definitely could be interesting. First ever narrow gauge railway, which reminds me, we still also get to get a narrow gauge route in Train Sim World, but I guess we can see that in the future. Hey Russell, what are you doing?
You know what?
Peter
You know what
says.
would be pretty,
Russell. The
would
children.
be pretty cool. Either for Train Sim World
Wow.
or
The
Train
children.
Simulator would be the a broad gauge
That's
railway.
backwards.
Excuse me?
I'm going backwards.
Okay, well anyway, like I was saying, this applies to both Train Sim World and Train Simulator, is a broad gauge railway, because
Yeah.
that is a history that a lot of people don't know about, to be honest.
Yes.
Like the Iron Duke.
Yes. Anyway, Hammond.
Ugh,
Alright.
Hector.
Alright, next thing to talk about is what do we mean by immersion? The new immersion features of Train Sim will include clearer information on instructions, progression, gradient, and speed profiles as you drive, new HUD displays, clarity to onboard save systems, grade controls, and blah blah blah. New emergency control schemes designed specifically common functions and make them more readily accessible. As well as removing distracting pop-up menus in both camera and driving modes. The classic control scheme also remains available to use as it is in Train Sim World 2020. Easy access from external camera mode to enter another vehicle in your consist, all while full physics and simulation is still running. Streamline game start automatically taking directly into the next stage of your last service or scenario. That could be interesting.
Clarify to the onboard safety systems, are we finally gonna get a PZB tutorial in the game?
It's possible. Anyway, so yeah, so clear information and non-instruct. I mean, yeah, I guess they're making the game more immersive. I think that's all that needs to be
Can I eat
said.
food?
No, but you can. However,
I don't know,
also
can
when you
you?
think about immersionisms.
Shut up.
Ha. Anyway, yeah. So I guess not much to say there. But
Yeah.
thanks anyway. All right, here we go. What is preserved collection? We've already been over that, so we won't go into that.
It's your mother.
Oh, I like how they say, why are you preserving my admin collection? Well, because we're Dovetail and we want to be nice for once.
Dumps again. Being nice.
That's literally that's literally all they had to say, but, okay. So they said Train Sim
Why
World-
was that a frequently asked question?
I don't know. But anyway, so they say Train Sim World has always been about your collection. Your choice of add-ons from your favorite region, time period, diesel, electric, passenger, freight, muscle, your way. Muscle is now type of N. And we are assuring that you can continue to enjoy your collection of Train Sim World 2. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Will add-ons I already own be free in Train Sim World 2? Yes. Your purchase add-ons on roads from logos from Train Sim World 2020 will be free to download and play with Train Sim World 2. Alright, now it's saying, will preserved collection add-ons be upgraded? The preservation work may bring some performance benefits depending on your platform, but they won't be as they are now. Preserved, not remastered. I am totally fine with that because I think that most of the DLCs for Train Sim World 1 are fine just the way they are. I mean, there is some work that could be done to improve them, but on the whole,
There's
they're
always
mostly fine as they are now. So, yeah, so if there's to be preserved, not remastered, I'm completely okay with that. Fish. Alright, so I was saying, can I keep both the original preserved content?
Fish.
Yes. Train Sim World 2020 as will continue to work exactly as to do now. Nothing to say there. I was interesting, will my progress and save game carry over? No. You can play your add-on routes and locals within Train Sim World 2, but your existing save data will stay safely with the original Train Sim World 2020. You can continue that progress anytime with Train Sim World 2020, or you can begin fresh in Train Sim World 2. Dovetail Live will check all your progress of both games and their add-ons, including your driver level, online log with driver reviews. That's totally fine. I mean, besides like driving isms from Train Sim World 1, there really is nothing you can bring over or would really want to bring over to Train Sim World 2. Like, I can understand if it's some like routes, scenarios, and things that you made, but if it's just driving, then I'm not really bothered by that. Not much to see there. Let's see. Will Train Sim World 2 override Train Sim World 2020 anyway? No, they're separate games and will play independently. Let's see there. What languages will be supported for preserved collections? The same language will be supported on the release. Nothing to say there. Will support be continued by Dovetail Live? Yes, Dovetail Live will still be your web destination mastery community and playing stats along with a few additional features for review soon. Additional features. I'm waiting on those. And like I was saying, when will preserved collections be available? I would hope when the game is launched. But they're saying we are working to. Yeah, but we are working to bring your collection online from the launch of Train Sim World 2. Better be from launch, because if you dovetail, if you have preserved collections after the release of Train Sim World 2, you will be game ended. Anyways, let's see. Like I was saying, what's new about Sandpatch Raid Route for PC? Well, let's see. Sandpatch Raid is new to consoles for this release, but it's also been optimized and updated for PC. That's good to hear. We're adding 14 new services covering switching in Cumberland Yard and 2 that add grain traffic to the route. 3 westbound auto-rack services now have helper trains added, and there will be also more flexible control of what train you're driving. The AC-44,000 CW has wider use on services than ever before, and you'll have better control over what livery the locomotives use. Train ways now use a new weighted wagon system, and loaded trains will require significant more skill to manage. With the addition of Adidas and Fizzy and all the other optimizations for Train Sim World 2, we're confident you'll find much more to separate from your PC. Yeah, so Sandpatch Raid is being it's being remastered. So what do we think about that?
It sounds fine to me, honestly.
Yes. Hammond, you like American trains. Are you jumping
What?
up?
Yeah.
Russell,
What?
are you playing Halo?
No.
Russell! I told you. Russell, did you hear anything that I said about the Sandpatch grade?
Yes.
Also, I just realized, I think, by the way, this live stream is a bit of a mess, I know, because I had the chat over the thing for the longest time, so you saw some white stuff. Yeah, I know, I'm not doing this the most professionally, but, this is the live stream, so I feel like we can have a break. Anyway, Russell, so did you hear anything I said about the Sandpatch grade?
Yes.
What's your thoughts on it?
It's fish.
Russell,
It
give
sounds
me
great! It's an American route, and I like American chains! Hey, Russell, if you want the full details, look at later. Here. Oh, that's... I'll just have to look at that later. Anyway. Alright, next question is... Russell.
Russell!
What did I tell you about breaking your toys? Anyway, why no steamers? Train Sim World 2 is the large update we need to do before we can get Steam Engines right. We won't release any until we can be sure we're going to do them justice that they and you deserve. Steam Engines will need another engine upgrade to make sure that particle effects do justice to performance and visuals, as well as a bespoke simulgraph upgrade to handle the unique experience of Steam Engines. Sound recreation is very important, as is detailed training and capsule core during gameplay, It's a very large jump from freight and passengers, which we have concentrated on perfecting so far. And high speed, key focus for this year, and we'll continue to work towards Steamens. Right. Okay. So they're basically saying this is gonna be the big update that we all need, so we can have steam engines and train simulator. Train sim world, and they're gonna be good steam engines. Let's hope that they're famous steam engines. I'm expecting.
We're gonna be slow.
I'm expecting.
Like you.
Shut up. I'm expecting Mallard, Flying Sausage, Daylight, Big Boy, or at least something that's well known.
The Big Boy, that is literally going to be like one of the most resource intensive.
Yes, or maybe the FEF-3.
Ah!
Wait, so that being said, oh my god, they totally can remake like the Sherman Hill route for Train Sim World 2 when they can have the Big Boy and the thingies, sausages. Anyway, so they're basically saying they need to upgrade the game so they can bring steam engines. That's all that really matters. Oh, here we go. This is a question. Can other people create routes in NS? We are already working with a small group of talented developers who are making routes and locals for Train Sim World. In the world of multi-platform development, it is much harder to do this. We are happy to hear from you via our third-party publishing system if you are experienced in developing on Unreal Engine and PC and console platforms. Yeah, so yeah, we
Rivet Games, for example.
yeah, we need where you are. Train Sim World, though, I feel like needs to be more open to other developers because I feel like if Dovetail's just making routes to Train Sim World, we're only gonna get it out like every so many years. So can we please get more devs on the thing, like Rivet Games, Richard Powerhouse, maybe Just Trains if they can do a good job and not rush the thing.
Urban Train Sim, the one that made the Frankfurt U-Bahn, they have to get involved.
Yeah, those guys too. And all these other developers like Smokebox and others that I'm forgetting about. Anyway.
And Frony Tobaban Corridor.
Yes.
Developers.
Anyway, so then I look at another question. We're almost there, by the way. What new add-ons and routes are coming? We'll be revealing our new release roadmap for the first time 1 week before the launch of Train Sim World 2. That is another thing I'm looking for, the roadmap. So, what's going to be happening post-launch of Train Sim World 2? So it's going to be a roadmap. I imagine it's going to be like the Crew 2 had. It's going to be interesting.
Real.
Yes, the Crew 2. Everyone knows that game.
Nope.
And is now an uncultured swine. We already knew that, but Anyway, yeah.
Remind me to game in him.
No. Anyway, next thing. So will new add-ons be released for Train Sim World 2020? All add-ons released after launch of Train Sim World 2 work in Train Sim World 2 only. We have to do this in order to take advantage of the new features of Train Sim. Preserve collection will remain. You can bring all your add-ons to Train Sim World 2. But they're basically saying that there's not going to be any more add-ons for Train Sim World 1, which is fine.
Yes, the Class 20 is the last DLC for Train Sim World 1.
Yes, sir. And so next question is, why don't you have this route? There are a vast number of factors that go into deciding what route to create. We focus on great destinations, making treks to great destinations. And locals that are exhilarating to drive with plenty of scenario and service mode options. The right licenses and access is also key for a great route or local. It takes precise and detailed development, work from signaling, track laying, local art, cinematographic connection, using many resources, direct access, blueprints, visuals, and discussions of licensed partners throughout the game. So basically, if they want to get this route in the game, they need to get the licensing, the right sausages, the right resources, and the right everythings.
I'm still gonna game in them for not adding Frankfurts.
And they probably will eventually.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, Frankfurt has to be lying.
I will game in them if they don't.
Yeah. I like how the next two questions in a row are the questions that I've been asking myself. Where is the full PC editor and where is multiplayer? Funny enough, PC editor is, well, we're going to start with PC editor. The Livery editor is another plan on the first step in our journey towards releasing more comprehensive tools. It's our hope that as many people who want to get into creating for Train Sim World 2, they will do that, blah, 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 blah. Releasing the full editor on PC is a far more complex process than it was on the original Train Simulator. To begin with, it requires a full download of the Unreal Engine 4 itself, and then there are a number of other unique plugins of our own, such as the Cinematograph and others, that are critical to building both locos and routes. So, yeah, I guess making a game on the Unreal Engine 4 somehow restricts creativity, so I guess that's the reason why the route editor isn't a thing. That being said, I don't know. I feel like there are multiple ways they could bring in a route editor. I guess they just want to make it good or something. But they're definitely taking
They
their
want to
time.
make it. They want to make it for consoles as well, so they want to make it the same for all.
Yeah, they're definitely taking their time, I will say. Russell.
Yeah.
Quack.
No. But yeah, I mean, I've been asking for route editor for so long, and it looks like we're still not gonna get it anytime soon. Come on, man. You just want to build a route that goes 500 miles, and it's just a straight track where I can go super fast and then crash through the station wall or something.
I'm sure there's development reasons why.
No.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to wait and see though. Could be a few more years for the editor. That being said, however, if they add multiplayer, I might just get the game right on set. Anyway, yeah. So I guess another thing they also mentioned, we know from both closed doors testing and working with experienced third-party developers that this isn't an easy area to use, and until we resolve the issues, we're not going to release anything more widely. So, I mean, I can guess them understand wanting to make an editor that is good, but it's taking time, and I'm starting to wonder why. Yes, and here's the other question that I've been begging for: where is multiplayer? I've been waiting for this for 3 years. And
No,
there's
Where can I
this.
blame the coaches?
That's a your question. Anyway, so questions. Answer. We want to bring multiplayer to Train Sim World, and we now have a design that we think will give a great social experience. It's been critical to design based on the experience of the mode, bringing the right roles and communication to our online experience. Multiplayer is not part of Train Sim World 2, but on our future roadmap. That's interesting. So I guess multiplayer is going to be at Train Sim World 2 at launch, but it does sound like they will be adding multiplayer at some point in Train Sim World 2 future. Honestly, at this point, I might just get Train Sim World 2 right when they add multiplayer. I mean, the thing is that one part of me really wants to get my hands on Train Sim World 2 or Train Sim World 1, but I just haven't done it because it's just not good enough. But hey, Dovetail, if you add a really, really good multiplayer in Train Sim World 2, I might just buy your game and the add-ons that I'm interested in. Anyway, 2 more questions. Let's see. Will there be track-iron and real driver support on PC? Not at launch. However, we're already working on bringing track-iron and real driver PC support to Train Sim World 2 within 1-2 months after launch. I'm not sure why they can't include this at the launch, but I guess that's fine. I guess we'll have to wait for that. And finally, what about UE5? UE5 is interesting, actually. Let's see. So we're
That's Unreal Engine. That's what it stands for.
I know. Yeah, so the answer is we are so happy that this is now in the public domain and it vindicates our decision 5 years ago to build our hobby on the UE4 platform. It's a perfect engine for simulation and that will only continue. We are not announcing anything for UE5 yet, but the next few years are going to be very exciting. UE5 is actually a very interesting game engine because apparently you actually have free royalty to the UE5 engine for the first $1 million that you make for your game that you make. Sell, I should say. So, and UE5 itself looks really nice, I will say.
Frony.
What about so?
Frony.
Why?
It's gonna be on Xbox, right?
No, it's gonna be an Xbox 360. Of course it's gonna be Xbox One. We literally just said that at the start of the stream.
I'm gonna game in you.
Anyway, yeah, so UE5 is actually interesting. UE5 actually brings up another interesting point
Xbox 360
that's
these days,
completely unrelated to Train Sim World 2, but it's actually related to NASCAR. Funny enough, NASCAR 8.5 is going to be the last game on the Unity engine, so the NASCAR 8.6 is made on UE5. There's lots of potential that could go there. Anyway, yeah, I guess not much I'm not going to say for that. That's relevant. So, that's it for all the thingamajiggies. That's all about Train Sim World 2. So what do we think of the game overall?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious to see what happens, if nothing else.
Yeah, I'm also curious as a matter of fact. And
I'm
yes.
curious to how to bang the coaches.
I'm also curious how to bang the coaches, okay. So, that pretty much wraps up our talk about Train Sim World 2, but we're not done yet.
But wait, there's more.
So, next thing we're going to talk about, since this is Train Sim World 2, I kind of want to bring up, I do want to bring up all of our previous experience with train simulators, let's just say. So, I guess I'll start as an example. So Train Simulator. I've owned that game now for about, I think this is actually my 6th year of ownership because I bought it in late 2014 when it was the Train Sim 2015 iteration. I can turn my TV screen off by the way now. And the thing about Train Simulator is that when I first got it, I thought it was really cool, but now it's starting to become dead to me because especially this year, you have Dovetail who are now allowing a bunch of Just Trains add-ons, some of their worst add-ons on the Steam store. So it's like, I don't get it. I don't know what's going on with Dovetail. I mean, what's weird is that way back in 2014 when I first got my hands on the game, they were releasing a new DLC every Tuesday. And then after some years, at some point in time, they went to releasing a new DLC every Thursday. And now they're releasing 2 DLCs a week on Thursdays and Fridays. So I have absolutely no idea what's going on at Dovetail. It just seems that they're trying to make Train Simulator as long as last as possible while trying to put in minimal effort into putting in DLCs to the point where they're getting a bunch of DLCs that Just Trains have made, a lot of which are rubbish, including the Tilted Mainline. Oh, good God, why is the Tilted Mainline in the same store? And yeah, and I've actually become a little bit fed up myself with playing the game because I was recently building a route, and then the route got glitched, and I couldn't fix it, so that really annoyed me. And in general, there really hasn't been too many interesting add-ons that have been released. To the point where I've actually decided not to buy anything, or not buy any DLC for Train Simulator specifically until Christmas, because there's really no other reason to buy other things at this point. So, and what else? So I mean, my experience in Train Simulator specifically has been, it's been quite mixed. Like there are times that I have enjoyed the game, but there are times where I've just gotten so mad about the game to the point where I think about uninstalling it from my computer because in some ways it's a bit of a mess. Like the raw editor is good most of the time, but then there's the occasional times where glitches. Then there's like a quality control on most of the DLCs that come out these days. Like I don't know, some DLCs are kind of good, but others are just meh, and some are just straight trash. So
Just like you.
So, I don't know. It's like, did Dovetail not care or something? Because, I don't know. They're just pumping out DLC after DLC, and most of them are just rubbish, and most of them are just Trains rubbish at this point, especially this year. Like, I'd say that last year was a pretty dull year for Train Simulator. This year so far has been even more dull. I don't know. I think Train Simulator 2020 might be heading on out because it's dead. I mean, the game is 11 years old. I can't believe that either. And 13 years old if you count the original Rail Simulator. Yeah, it's getting old. On enough recently, they recently released the LNER HST, which is literally an import from Train Sim World, and the work on that isn't the best. Like the sound work is questionable. The graphics are nice, but at the same time they need some work according to Mr. Alan Thompson. And it's pretty redundant as well since we already have the Armstrong Powerhouse MTU Enhancement Pack for the HST, and we also have the LNER Recent Pack. So that's the thing. And I use Train Simulator. I also, as you guys will know, I also have lots of experience with Train Simulator 2, which I played on the channel, as you know, back in 2016. And what's odd about Train Simulator 2 is that it's better than Train Simulator in some ways, but it's also worse in some ways.
Oh God.
So, and there's been a number of moments. Well, it's also the same thing with Train Simulator 2, where there have been a number of times that I've enjoyed the game, and then a number of times that I've gotten upset with the game. And same thing can be said about Trains: A New Era. I've only owned that game now since October last year, and yeah. So I guess you can say my experience with Train Simulators in general has been mixed, to say the least. I've tried my hand at content creation, and sometimes that's been fun, other times it's been painful and tedious. So I guess that's all I can really say as for the past or previous experiences. So, Andre.
Okay, so let's start in 2013 when I started playing Train Drive ATS, a Japanese train game by Takahiro Ito, a game that I still play because I absolutely love it. It has almost no bugs and
Hmm.
it's just awesome.
I've been playing
And
Train Drive.
what?
Nothing.
Okay. Then in 2015 I started playing Train Simulator 2. Well, the iPhone version, which is a bit cheaper. It's called Trains Driver 2.
Yeah.
And in that game, I really like the route editor, which was really cool. And also that you have those levers in realistic mode that you can move.
Yeah.
It's also something I really liked a lot. But that is actually a game that I don't play anymore because I started playing Train Simulator 2018 in 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that was
think Bill
pretty
died.
much. Yeah, and that was that's really cool. It's kind of now also kind of going down right now. What I really love about it is that it has Frankfurt, right?
Yeah.
3 DLCs with Frankfurt, Frankfurt S-Bahn, U-Bahn, and Frankfurt High Speed to Karlsruhe. That's what I like a lot because I was born in Frankfurt, and I absolutely love that city. And
Yes.
then Train Sim World is what I started playing later. Absolutely love it, still love it. Another Train Sim World 2 is coming out. I mean, Train Sim World has lots of future. And yes, and I've also played Trains A New Era for a little bit because of Frony. And
Yes.
yeah, I don't really like that game a lot because it lags on my potato PC, but yeah, has nothing to do with the game itself. And yeah, that was my Train Simulator story.
Well, I guess as far as experiences go, have you ever had was there any times where you got frustrated with any of the train simulators that you mentioned?
I've got frustrated with Train Drive ATS when the timetable update in 2015 came out, which removed the commuter limited express. That made me really frustrated. It's also became. I said it didn't have it. I said Train Drive ATS doesn't have a lot of bugs. It has become quite buggy nowadays. I still enjoy the game, but I mean, when you play Train Drive ATS 3, for example, when you leave the game and come back in, your entire game just becomes all squashed. And that's just super weird. So Takahiro Ito, please fix that.
Interesting.
And Train Simulator 2. I mean, wheel slip issues. Everybody knows about them. They're just annoying.
Yeah, sometimes.
And
Sorry about that.
yeah, Train Simulator. I mean, I haven't had too many issues with it. It's just the route editor. Route editor is just stupid.
Yeah.
And in Train Sim World, to be honest, I haven't had that many issues in Train Sim World. That much.
Interesting. Okay, and Domtron.
Yeah, so as far as history goes, my first train simulator was Trains 2 on my iPad, obviously. Did that for quite a few years. Then obviously I met Pepperoni here, and went on to go to Train Simulator, blah blah blah, 20XX, more like it. And yeah, went from there. Train Kane, obviously, but overall, Trains was fine. I had plenty of fun with that. A lot of years of fun, getting to know stuff and everything. Train Simulator, that was fine. Had my own fair share of issues with corruption and everything of my route quite a few times, but that's still going good. And Kane, it's fun. Haven't gotten into it enough yet to really say, but it's good all the same.
All right. And Russell.
My first game was Trains 2, and Frony came along, and I played that for a few years. It was fun. It had really no issues except for a few crashes here and there. Then Train Simulator came along, and the rest is history. Apart from the route editor being it's it's complicated and stupid.
I mean, it's not that complicated once you get used to it, but I can see where you're coming from.
I am used to it, but I don't like to use it.
Yes.
I mean, even Maverick Hunter
You're
Daniel
glad when you're finished.
would say that it's a pain to use. I'd say that the Train Simulator Will Editor is a bit of a pain to use sometimes.
Like, let's compare it to the Train Simulator 2 editor. The Train Simulator 2 editor is fun to use, and when you're done, you want to create more. But in Train Simulator, it's not fun to use, and you're so glad when you're finished, and you don't want to use it ever again.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why I don't like to use it as much.
Yeah. So I guess that's the past. Yeah. All right. So now for the future. So we're gonna stick to Dovetail for this one. With Train Simulator 3, Train Simulator, and Train Sim World. So I guess to give where I want to see Train Simulator 2020 go. I can see it going the way that it is now. Like they're gonna have the yearly updates. Like there's no doubt there's gonna be Train Simulator 2021, 22, and so on and so forth until the world ends, I guess. And Train Simulator 2020, even with Train Sim World 2, I think that Train Simulator 2020 can still be a good game. It just has to have more quality control. Like, there needs to be more quality control in the DLCs. I want to see better stuff, none of this rust rubbish. I want everything really should have accurate sounds, accurate physics, everything really, because that's the beauty of train simulators and stuff. And same thing with routes. I want to see more accuracy in routes, and more importantly, I want to see less corner cutting because Dovetail's cut so many corners in their recent DLCs. It's not the best thing. It's not the best business move, I would say. It's definitely annoyed a lot of players. Well, maybe not a lot of players, but at least the veterish is players. I don't know how you say that. The older players. There you go. Yeah. So Train Sim 2020, and that being said, however, maybe Train Sim World can become so advanced or so open to creation to the point where Train Sim 2020 can eventually become an obsolete game title. Like, I mean, it could still be up for sale and stuff, but on the whole, it could be
what Microsoft Train Simulator has turned into.
Yeah, it could pretty much. I mean, you can leave Train Sim 2020 on the Steam store up for sale, but eventually you can move on from it because Train Sim World 2 is become so advanced to the point where it basically becomes Train Simulator's replacement.
Its own predecessor.
And it's a good replacement.
But the only thing I would argue about that is until they implement at least a route editor, or they figure out a way to optimize the game in general, the Train Simulator still has its place, because Train Simulator, while it might not be the best for overall scenarios and looks, you still at least have that route creation ability and creation of other content, which again, Train Sim World is lacking in. It's almost this is kind of turning into, like, I can see in the future this turning into something like what Minecraft's turned into, where they have all the consoles and stuff with different versions and everything. Like, for people who know a little bit about Minecraft, there's a Java and a Bedrock version. Bedrock being the cross-compatibility one, like Train Sim World, that you can't really mod, but then there's a Java version which you can mod, which in our case would be like Train Simulator here. So I feel like it's going to be that kind of mix going on for a long time now, until Train Sim World gets those abilities.
That's actually a very interesting comparison.
Ooh, hey, Mom is back.
I mean, I'm just saying because I know a little bit about Minecraft, so and that's kind of the same deal they have, where they have two different versions of Minecraft. They have overall optimized version of it that's cross-compatible across all platforms, but then they also have a standard computer edition that can be modded greatly. So
yes, the only difference is that the computer version is better, unlike with Train Sim World and Train Simulator.
Yeah, that's honestly what they should do for Train Sim World going into the future, and I really would actually like to see that.
I just wish they would bring over more of the features of Train Simulator to Train Sim World, but obviously that's going to take time into the
And he left.
This is pretty much what Train Simulator 2012 or Railwork 3 used to be. We're just going through another transition like that.
Yeah. Oh, the was closed. Okay. I think I'll have this in just a bit. Yeah. So I can definitely see that. So I guess yeah. If it, that I can't talk anymore. So Train Simulator, yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from because I feel like once Train Sim World has the same abilities as Train Simulator, it will eventually become Train Simulator's replacement, and Train Simulator could ultimately become abandonware in the future.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
It's likely. We'll have to see. And as for Train Sim World, well, Dom's kind of already hinted at this, but yeah, I kind of want to see Train Sim World go down the direction of that. That being said, for Train Sim World, I also want to see, well, obviously, well-built and multiplayer is one thing, but of course with the islands, I hear that some of the islands for Train Sim World have some inaccuracies with them, so I want to see more accuracies. I don't want any soundwork that's too terrible. Of course, physics needs to be accurate, so work, all that stuff. A train simulator needs to be a true train simulator, and by being a true train simulator, it needs to be at least 99% accurate, 95% accurate. I mean, you can have a few minor inconsistencies here and there, but overall the product, I feel, needs to be good. And that being said, I definitely do want to see Train Sim World become more open to modders, so this way people like us can go into Train Sim World and do whatever we want, really. Import our own 3D models, mess around with the sounds, mess with the physics, mess with the paint jobs. Basically everything that we can do in Train Simulator, but maybe even bigger extent in Train Sim World. Yeah, so we could have a recipe for success, provided that everything goes right. Wassel, you... Oh, God, that... Hammer! There you are, Wassel. Where have you been, lazy bones?
I had to take a wee.
Did you see our entire discussion about train sim sausages?
What?
Whatever. Anyway, Andre, so that being said, what would you like to see for the future of Train Simulator and Train Sim World?
Future of Train Simulator, I don't even know whether anything is going to happen. I don't think that game is going to change a lot.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, but I think Train Sim World is actually going to replace it at some point.
Kind of. I'm thinking.
And yeah, what I hope to see in Train Sim World, to be honest, the only thing I need is Frankfurt, my hometown.
I mean, we could also use multiplayer, route builder.
Yes, of course. But I don't really need that. Like something that I really want.
I need it because I'm frontal bomb and I want my sausages back.
Yes.
Really want.
But yes, multiplayer, if it comes, I will of course not say no. Yeah. But I will of course like it. And if it will be a payware add-on, I will buy it.
Well, that's not payware, that's the last thing the company needs to do.
I don't know.
That being said, however, when multiplayer comes, you guys watch this can bet that we will do some Train Sim World 2 multiplayerisms.
Yeah.
You know what I really want? In Train Simulator.
What? Oh no.
Like a Texas route.
I don't think we. We'll get
we
to
don't
that
have
in a bit.
any.
We'll get to that in a bit. Okay, so it's Andrew's take. So Domtron.
So what was? Just remind me. So what are we?
So we're basically talking about where we want Train Simulator and Train Sim World to go into the future.
Okay, so yeah, so that kind of goes into what I was saying before about that. I really want to see it. There's two ways I can see it going. Either Train Sim World getting more of the abilities of Train Simulator, but that I'm not sure will be possible only because of the optimization issues with graphics and everything. Like, we're talking, you're going to need a better computer. Like, if we're talking...
You're going to give me 5.
The computers that we had back in, like, 2010, for instance, are not a lot, but they're significantly different from the computers that we have now.
Yeah.
And so, Train Simulator nowadays, you can have a lot better graphics. But I worry that route creation in Train Sim World currently would not be possible, at least in the foreseeable future. I mean, that is what it is. Honestly, the way that I was talking about before with like having two different versions, both with their own unique features, I think that's the route that they're going to still keep going until computers get better, of course.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
And they are getting better.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when better computers become more common and Train Sim World becomes more accessible, yeah, I can definitely see that happening.
Hmm.
And
I wonder
also,
how Train Sim World 2 would look
yeah.
like on the Xbox One X.
probably the same as it does on any other console. Anyway, Russell.
But prettier.
Russell.
Wow.
I know your name is Russell, but what would you like to see for the future of Train Simulator and Train Sim World?
I would really like to see a Texas route.
And?
Like Andre, I would like some to see from my hometown too.
Yeah. I can understand him 100%.
And I want a route where I can go to Providence Station.
You have a Northeast Corridor.
Well, we have Northeast Corridor, but not doesn't go by Providence or Boston. Another place where I live, but no.
Yes.
No. I want my Providence Station in Train Sim World.
I'll bulldoze it.
No. Anyway, anything else, Russell?
No, and I just see it dying too. Like I see it dying.
Yes.
You mean Train Simulator?
Yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Train Sim
Well, eventually
World
Train
is
Sim
new
World
and
will also die out.
Nah. If Dovetail keeps supporting Train Sim World for like forever, then yeah, it's gonna. Well, for me, Train Sim World 1, yeah, but Train Sim World 2 is gonna be around for sausages. At least until they make a Train Sim World 3.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be like with Microsoft Train Simulator. It was cool back then, but it's gonna die out eventually.
Or
And
the
that's what
ultimate
Train
thing
Sim
that
World
could
is gonna
can
become.
the ultimate thing that could cancel Train Sim World 2 is if a new developer comes in and makes an even better Train Simulator. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but I don't know. Also, I have no forks to use.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Give me a minute. Where did I put the forks?
You're gonna give me 5.
Yeah, we have caused confusion and delays. Oh, here it is. I'm gonna wash it. I'm in no breaking your toys.
I'm spamming my keyboard. There is a long silence.
Awkward silence.
I'm just gonna stare at this window until the scene has ended. Frony is a big fat sausage. He's very disgusting. Now I'm gonna throw him into the lake where he's gonna float to Dairyland.
And we are back. And I hear we're talking about Disneyland or something.
No,
I'm back.
Oh my goodness, Disney.
Hammond,
Hamster.
what have you done?
He ate
nothing.
a hamster.
Hammond? Yeah, did you eat yourself?
No.
I hope so.
Shut up.
Oh, this chicken is really good.
You know what's also good?
Not you.
Mhm.
Well, I guess that's all there really is to say about Train Sim sausages. Anything else anyone want to say?
Okay.
Train Simulator 3.
No, Frony, you Russell.
Oh yeah, Train Simulator 3 is gonna be a thing soon. I'm gonna see if I can get my hands on that. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna try to load the front of the Corridor out from Train to New Hero. Yeah. It's not mine anymore, throwing your bobbin. Other than that, is there any other topics they want to bring up for fascisms?
No, I'm good.
Except we covered all of the sausages.
Indeed. So, I guess that's a wrap. So, that, my friends, is our thoughts on Train Sim World 2, our previous experience with the Train Simmers, and where we want to see Duff to go in the future. Yeah, I guess that wraps up. So so tomorrow I have a new video coming out this week. Well, new video. Unfortunately, because of my idiot self, I get to delete the video that accidentally went up today and re-upload that tomorrow. No, nothing.
Was it about your mother?
No, but what's about trains? I'll tell you that. And Wednesday, we'll be doing another live stream on something completely different. Yeah, so we're playing a new game, which has to do with auto racing, and it's gonna be fun. Yes, it is.
That's not a game. It's not a game, no.
It's close enough. Come on, Russell.
No.
Why?
Why are you playing train horns?
Because I can.
You're not an engine. I'm an engine. No. I got my sausage in the foot. That's fine. Anyway, yeah. So yeah. Today is Monday. Tomorrow's gonna be a video. Wednesday's gonna be a live stream, and after that, we'll be back next week with some more sausages. I have another live stream idea that I want to do next week, which I might talk about soon. But we'll see how that goes. So I guess with that being said, we hope you guys have enjoyed this live stream. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.
And until next time,
Goodbye.
And anything else the boys want to say?
I'm good.
No.
Alright, and we will see you in...
Train Simulator is gonna die!
Jesus. And we will see you in whatever we make next.